I will say it is a lot different than what I am used to. I also think too, we never want anyone to come into this blind and then they see a few videos and then their experience was very similar to ours. And then they're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I'm just not used to it. We're just fine. We're getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome back. If you watched last week's video, you know we've got some new jobs. If you're new, Chase is a welder, welds on a whole bunch of different power plants and refineries across the country. We usually travel to his jobs for work. Now Chase is flying out for work. Like, they'll call him one day and he'll have to fly out either the next day or the following day. I am not fire watching, which I will leave a link to that video below, because that is a really good paying job if you want to travel and make a lot of money in a short amount of time and then go on. But I am work camping, have been work camping for almost 2 months. I kind of want to give my honest reviews, nothing like, just kind of my thoughts on it, what I've been doing. It's been good. Yes, we have bikes in our camper. We just got these trek bikes like not even a week ago, and we need to get a cover and a lock for them.
We already need new tires because we've been riding them a lot.
No, we don't need new tires. But we've been having a lot of fun with the trek bikes. What I have been doing at the campground, for those that don't know what work camping is, typically it's like working at an RV park. I am working at a corporate KOA. There are differences between corporate and franchise KOAs. Corporate KOAs, you do have to pay rent. So they pull out $92 and some change, I would say, each paycheck. I get paid every 2 weeks. I make $15.25 per hour, which isn't too bad. I'm about part-time, I would say, usually an average of 21-ish hours a week. So what I did when I first started, I did front desk work. If you've never done K2s, is the software that they use to do all the bookings and stuff. That is what we use. It's pretty straightforward to understand it once you've done it quite a bit. 1 week I also did housekeeping because they needed more housekeeping people 1 week. So my first few, I guess, month or so, my schedule was just kind of all over the place. But for me, I was totally fine with that because Chase is going to be flying out soon. So it was like, I'm perfectly fine with having a not consistent schedule. Now I have more of a consistent schedule. I am working part-time. That was also a choice because with Chase flying out, drinking coffee. Oh yeah, there wasn't a full-time position available. When I asked, if you watched last week's video, you saw, I guess, that the way I got this job was because I know the manager and his wife through social media, and so I asked them if they had anything open, and they only said they had anything part-time, which is perfect because I didn't want to work full-time because I wanted to be able to still make YouTube videos and not stress out about that, have time for Chase whenever he's home, because like this past week we were able to get the camper situated, random errands. We also did like a few mini hikes this week, so that was really cool. So that's why I kind of wanted to do part-time anyway. So now my hours are Friday evening, Saturday and Sunday afternoon, evening, and Monday morning. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second.
That's correct.
That is correct. So in total, my paycheck is about, what would you say, after taxes and after they pull the rent, it's
like
about
$749, $747, I think is what it was.
Yeah. So I think for the month is around $1,300-ish for a month, and that's working part-time, like 21-ish hours a week. So that's not bad.
No.
Oh, some perks. I get free propane, which is awesome. Free laundry, which is a huge perk as well. And we get 25% off anything in the store because we have a store on property. So I'm not saying that every job is going to be like that, but that's just kind of what I've been doing, my roles, my pay, and all that stuff. Honest thoughts. Like Chase said, it's horrible. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it's not horrible. It's really not that bad. I will say it is a lot different than what I am used to, because if you guys have watched any of our past videos, you know that the jobs that I've worked in the past with Chase as his Firewatch or helper, those jobs are a lot more hours. Like you're working 72, 84 hours a week, 12-hour shifts. You're also getting per diem, which is non-taxable, like a daily stipend and stuff, and then hourly, and then time and a half after 40 hours. I am used to those types of jobs. What I make in a month work camping is what I make in a week plus working with Chase. So it is a little bit different. Another thing too that I'm not used to with this work camping is that we are in one place for a while.
Yeah, we've been here since end of June, and yeah, still gonna Still gonna be here for a while.
So we're used to traveling for Chase's work, and your jobs can be anywhere from like a couple of weeks to months at a time, and then we're moving on to the next one. So being here for 4, 5, 6 months-ish is a lot different than what we're used to. But at the same time, I think if you are wanting to do work camping, that is one thing that you do kind of need to consider is the season and the time frame. Now, I know some of my friends that do work camping, they just did one and it was only 3 months long. So like there are shorter work camping options out there, but for this one, the season starts May to end of October. Now, granted, I mean, all of a sudden it got gray. Yeah, granted, we did get here a little bit later. All of a sudden it got really gloomy in here. So I'm not saying that my work camping experience is going to be like everyone else's, but in the sense of being here for a while, you kind of have to take that into consideration. Because I think a lot of people think that work camping, you're only going to be here for a certain amount of time and then you're going to go to the next one. You're going to go to the next one. That's just something to keep in mind. Also, seasons too, because when we're done here, it's going to be wintertime. You're kind of limited on where to go afterwards, depending on if you want to be in the snow or the cold. I'm not going to work in the winter after this. That is going to be another day, another story for that. I would definitely say if you are wanting to work camp in the wintertime, we are seeing a lot of places book up, or at least I am, because I have friends that are here and they're like, a lot of places for the winter are starting to book up. That also just depends on where you want to be and where you want to go. Another thing with work camping is that I feel like a lot of people just don't realize that it's actual work. I have met quite a few people being here at the RV park that I've met in the laundry room that are customers staying here. You know, we'll talk about like where you're from and all that. And they've said that they have work camped, but they only did it for a month and realized it wasn't for them. And we've met people in other places too, or at different RV parks where they'll leave after a month because they realize, oh, we're going to be here for a while. They realize that they don't need that much to full time, depending on how they travel. And yeah.
And that is okay. You don't know unless you try. These people are fantastic. We absolutely like them and I love them. You don't know unless you try. I remember 2 years ago, Bryce and I, or maybe 3 years ago, we were at a different RV park in Colorado. We were just customers and we got to know the work campers that were there. They were there for like maybe a month and a half, 2 months, I think, maybe. Not even that long, I don't think. Maybe around a month. And they decided, they were like, you know what? We don't need this job. We don't need a work camp. We're going to go and hit the road. And so they left. They just packed all those things up and then, hit the road. So you want to do what's right. And, if you say you're going to do something, you want to see it through and commit to it. But, things come up. Life happens. I mean, interests change and
you are here to work. And I think a lot of people forget that is that you get some people that want to be here just because of the cheap rent and the location. And that's great and that's awesome. But that can also trickle into the work in the sense of not wanting to put your best foot forward. And we've seen that at other places around, RV parks. And that's also another thing to keep in mind too, is that depending on your financial situation, if you're wanting to do work camping as like, this is the job to get us to full-time RVing, because that's a great way to get into it. You definitely need to do your research on how much do we need per month? How many hours do I need to work? Are me and, your partner, spouse, or whoever, are they going to be working also? Because that's another thing to consider is that, I'm making $15.25 an hour. If he's making it too, and we're both working full time, and then also asking the RV park, hey, we would like our days off to be together. Is that an option? So like those are some things that you just need to ask the RV park before you come. And then also, I've seen some people too where, like for instance, July 4th week is very busy and some people had to work a little bit more, and it's just part of it. You're going to have to be a team player for different seasons like that. Yep. I think it's important to, like, for me, that's fine. Like, I am totally fine with like doing a little bit more because during the busier seasons, you're just going to have to help out a little bit more. Like I said, it's a lot different than what I'm used to. Like, I'm used to working the plants, more rugged, more just cutthroat, different clientele of people you're working with. And so I think definitely working with you has given me a thick skin, because working the front office, sometimes you get people that are just absolute stinkers. You know what I mean? I'm not saying all the time. I've met some really, really great people that come through here. But you do get some that are just very interesting people. Dump trucks here. There are different work camping options out there. Like there's housekeeping, there's maintenance, there's front desk. I know some bigger RV parks have mail rooms and stuff. Don't think like what I am doing is going to be like in every one. This is just my experience and my thoughts about it.
Don't make it harder on yourself when you're trying to hire in at an RV park. I mean, like I said, I have not worked here, but just experiencing it from what little Bryce has done so far. If you don't like to talk to people, tell them before they even hire you. Hey, I'm not working the front desk. I'm not working customer relations. I'm not doing that. If you've got a physical condition to where you cannot do outside work or maintenance work, then hey, put me inside. Let me restock. Let me do customer relations and stuff like that. Go into it knowing already your strengths, and don't just be like, for us, we can do it all. Not that we're something great, but it's just we're willing to adapt and being able to do it all, which helps as well because you're utilized within the RV park even more.
Yeah. Keep that in mind with work camping. I'm going to leave a link to Why Not Wander 2. I guess that they have like the number 2. They do a lot of work camping videos, so watch their stuff if you have like work camping questions or how to find work camping jobs. I know they've done quite a few videos on that. Like I said, I found this through social media. I also think too another great way is just to ask RV parks, because that's in a sense how I found this one. Because a lot of people just don't ask. Like they just expect to see an ad and then call. The number one thing I think is just to ask people as well. And I'll also leave a link to the Firewatch video. Like I said, I know some people are gonna be like, well, Bryce, like you get cheap rent here. Granted, like I have to pay for an RV park when I do Firewatch with you, but the money surpasses that with the per diem, the hours and all that stuff. So if you're interested in that job, I'll leave a link to that one below, because it's a great job to do. Like if you're wanting to travel, make a lot of money and take time off. I think if you are wanting to do work camping full time as a job, it's going to be a little bit difficult to take more time off, if that makes sense, depending on your job. Yeah.
Work camping.
Yeah, with work camping. Yeah. You do make money with work camping, but compared to Firewatch, making a big chunk, taking time off and making a big chunk. That's what we're used to.
If we were to do the work camping together and I was work camping and she was work camping, obviously that number would double. So that would be better, but it's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. It's just one of those things of like, how much time off do you want? Yes, we do get time, like I do get 3.5-ish days off here, which is great. And we can go see things, but you're also limited on where you can go within the time frame. Like we don't want to go too far and then spend majority of our days off traveling to go see something. So there's just a lot to consider with it. You are in a place for a good chunk of time. And if you're used to moving, going and seeing a whole bunch of different things, it was kind of I wouldn't say like a culture shock, but in a way a shock to like, oh wow, we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to it, which is fine. We're getting there.
Oh yeah.
I hope you all found value in this video. If you did, please subscribe. We'd love to hit 2,000 subs. That way we can start doing YouTube lives. Y'all can ask us questions. No offense to other RVers out there doing YouTube or anything like that, but we want to be able to do YouTube lives so y'all can ask us questions. I know I answer questions that are in the comments, but that way we can be a resource to y'all, because when we started doing this, there was no one out there like us within the blue collar industry doing what we're doing. So we want to be a resource to y'all and all that fun stuff.
Sorry for a little too detailed and thorough, but we want to make sure that we're laying it all out there.
Yeah. But I also think too, we never want anyone to come into this blind and then they see a few videos and then their experience was very similar to ours, and then they're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I mean, we never want that to be like that for y'all. Anyway, I think Chase is gonna go run an errand. You gotta go pick up a TIG rig.
Yeah.
Life of a welder. And I'm gonna edit this video because y'all are gonna see it tomorrow, which is Friday, because I procrastinated on doing this video. We will see y'all next week. I don't know what next week's gonna look like.
I hope I have one more week off and then I'm ready to start.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I'm
hoping. So I've been enjoying it here.
Yeah, it's been nice. Yeah. We will see y'all next week. If you have any questions about work camping, if there's something I did not cover, please leave it below. Oh, also, the RV park does not do insurance, like health insurance. Just wanted to throw that out there. Thankfully, with Chase's new company, I get health insurance through him now. We used to carry our own health insurance privately just because of Chase working with different companies. But anyway, we will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Good night.